Hi, I'm Greg Lambrecht, founder and inventor of Coravin, and I'm here to speak about the use of Coravin systems in your restaurant or wine bar. The Coravin Timeless system is our original system that uses a thin needle to go through the cork and uses argon gas to push the wine out of the bottle and into your glass. The Coravin Timeless system allows you to vastly expand your wine by the glass offerings for your customer, as well as prevent any wastage. The big advantage of the Coravin Timeless system is that it is truly timeless. You can pour a glass for your guest tonight and then pour from that same bottle next week, next month, even next year. And actually, one system can pour from any of the wines in your cellar. I do recommend, however, that you have at least one system for every wine server or sommelier on your team. When using Coravin Timeless, it's important to cut the foil on the bottle. This is for two reasons. The first is to check the type of cork that you've got. Coravin works with fully natural cork as well as composite corks, but it does not work with plastic corks or polymer corks, which do not reseal. The second reason to cut the foil is it lets you easily recognize in a wine fridge or cellar which bottles have been previously Coravin and which have not. To get the maximum preservation benefit out of your Coravin Timeless system, it's really important to give the trigger a quick press just before you go into the next bottle. That makes sure that there's no air or wine from the last pour left inside the needle or valve. Pouring with your Coravin Timeless system is simple. All you have to do is hold the bottle like you normally would with one hand, place your finger through this ring at the top, and your thumb on the trigger. Tip the bottle nice and high so wine is touching the needle tip. Press the trigger and let go. Every time I press, argon goes in and wine comes out. The most efficient way to use your capsule to get the most number of glasses per capsule is to press this trigger with short presses multiple times until you get the flow rate that you like. This will get you up to 20 5-ounce glasses per capsule. You can stop anytime simply by rotating your hand that is holding the bottle downward, leaving the spout in the glass to catch any splash, and then pull the needle out of the cork. One really great trick if you're pouring more than one glass with your Coravin of the same wine, to move between two glasses quickly and efficiently without wasting any gas, is there's a spot halfway down the trigger where the wine flow stops and no argon gas goes in. This allows you to move easily from glass to glass and keep pouring without venting that gas that's on the inside. So this will maximize the total number of pours you can get without wasting any gas at all. All right, one trick for pouring tableside. Normally when I pour at home, I'm like this, and I've got my elbows out and I'm pouring into my glass. But if you're tableside and the glass is in front of the guest, it's really important that you minimize the dimensions that you're pouring so that you don't interfere with your guests at all. So what I like to do is lay a bottle along my arm and tip the bottle up. This way, you've got a narrow profile when you're coming in to the guest. You can press and pour like so, and then simply drop to stop pouring, and you can back away from the table. For best preservation benefit, it's really important not to leave your Coravin needle through the cork for long periods of time. There's a risk that air will actually get into the bottle if you leave it through the cork for a while. So I like to remove the system as soon as you're done pouring. The easiest way to remove the Coravin Timeless is not by pulling straight up, where humans are not that strong in this direction, but by pulling sideways. We're much stronger this way. So simply pull sideways, pull the needle out of the cork reseals, so you can put it back in storage. Your Timeless system needle will wear out over time. It's actually a Teflon-coated needle, and so just like a frying pan, a nonstick frying pan, it'll wear out. The easy way to check is by unscrewing the needle from the system, pulling it out to the side. Take a look at the tip. If the tip has turned silver, maybe time to replace your Coravin needle. They're easy to replace. You simply put them back into the hole at the bottom, thread it back onto the system, and you're ready to go. Every once in a while, check to make sure that your needle is threaded on tightly by giving it a quick test. The Coravin Timeless system has 3 different needles to satisfy any need you might have at your restaurant or wine bar. The Coravin Professional system comes with a fast pour needle installed. The fast pour needle you can recognize by this red rim at the base of the hub. The fast pour needle is just that. It pours fast, and it actually uses a little bit less argon to pour each glass. Then we have our standard needle, which has a black rim at the base. And then we have a vintage needle, a much thinner needle that can be used on wines that are 15, 20 years old, or even older. It takes much less force to pass through the cork. It has a silver marking at the base of the hub. Now a couple of tips and tricks on how to get the maximum life out of your needle. I've seen some people break needles, particularly when they're using bottles that are coated with wax at the top. You can actually go straight through that wax. The trick is at the start, when you place it on top of the bottle, the wax can make this a little bit unstable before you start to push down, and that can bend or break a needle. So I've learned that you push down on this handle first to get the needle up against the cork, and then push the needle through the cork. If you do it in 2 steps, particularly on wax bottles, you're much less likely to break the needle. And now when removing the Coravin from the cork, don't pull at an angle. When you pull at an angle, you can cause that needle to bend. Pull straight out of the cork. And the last thing that I've seen is people who turn the Coravin while the needle is through the cork. If you rotate the Coravin while the needle is through the cork, you will bend or break your needle. Avoid those and you'll get the maximum life out of your needle. Most importantly, with your Coravin Timeless system, there are a couple of things you can do to maximize the preservation of your wine. We call it the 4 C's of Coravin: clean, clear, cellar, and cork. Clean, very simply, at the end of service, if you've used your Coravin, hot water through the spout clears out the valve and the needle of any wine that you've been pouring throughout the day. Clear, just before you go to your next bottle of wine, give that trigger a quick press and then press the needle through the cork and make sure that you've pushed out any air or wine that's in the needle and fill the system with argon so none of that air or wine gets into your next bottle. Cellar, store your wines on their side, keep them cold, in a nice dark place. It's really important for the longevity of the cork that it stays humid and that the wine on the inside is touching the inside of the cork. And then cork itself. Coravin only works with natural or agglomerated natural corks. It does not work with plastic or polymer corks. Also, when a cork gets old, it loses elasticity. To check for this, simply put your hand around the neck of the bottle and your thumb on top of the cork and press down. If the cork slides easily, don't use Coravin Timeless. The cork is too old. Use Pivot. Thanks for watching. I hope that those tips and tricks will be really useful to you and that you'll be able to serve your guests lots of really amazing glasses of wine and create an unforgettable experience. For more information and a couple more tips, a couple more tricks, please click on the links below. Go to our website.